things you would do as the PM of the country?
First thing is revisitation of the constitution from an Indian perspective. Two, perhaps what the government is already doing in terms of clearing the weed from the colonial establishment, number of laws which are unnecessary. That's one. Three, I would want to inculcate a certain sense of discipline in the youth by mainstreaming some part of services in the armed forces.
Ooh, Israel style.
Not fully a conscription style, but the Agnipath model in a slightly more, let's say, fashion where it becomes accessible to even people in schools. Okay, in the 11th and 12th. Okay, that could be one way of looking at it. Because having been to Israel, I've seen how that actually works. It's fantastic. That model has worked. It's superb. Four, seriously revisit our education system from multiple perspectives. People usually think of only history when they think of education, but there's a lot more to it. Your approach to science and your approach to reason, Tarka Shastra, all these aspects of Indic logic and reasoning have to be introduced. Five, free temples from state control across the board.
What is state control? They collect the money that a temple...
Not just collect the money, they appoint officers who run the establishment as if it's a bureaucratic establishment.
And do what?
And do what? Budgets. They clear the budgets. They interfere with rituals. Single-handedly responsible for changing the traditions in multiple major temples like Jagannath Puri and whatnot, or even Tirupati for that matter. Single-handedly responsible for treating temple as a port of revenue, as opposed to what it is not meant to be, as opposed to, let's say, a place of worship or a place of spiritual solace, right?
Gotcha.
You've reduced religion to religious tourism. That's not what it was ever meant to be for. And it is meant to also act as a community support system where it provides money. It's also a guild in a certain form, right? Provide education to people. If you're looking at the arguments relating to reservation, you can perhaps offset it to a significant extent if you say the temple money will be used to educate people from the depressed classes for a certain period of time. You're giving a positive replacement. Otherwise, the reservation argument will always be about, oh, you're taking this away. You can never take something away once you've given it, especially in the realm of reservation. So you give alternatives.
Okay. I look at this as very